So a couple days ago I finished Mafia the Definitive Edition, which is a 2020 remake of the original game that came out in 2002, which I did not play since I was born in 2002. Therefore, I am playing this as someone with no nostalgia for the original game, and is playing this for the first time. So, what I think about it? Let's talk about it. Releasing on September 25th, 2020, Mafia the Definitive Edition is a remake of the 2002 game titled Mafia and follows cab driver turned mobster Tommy Angelo during the Prohibition period in New Heavens, America, essentially the game's universe version of Chicago, as he retells his story of joining the mob and all the chaos he caused during his time with the crime family. The game looks great in the main mission areas, and the lighting makes the game feel really immersive. Character models do look a little dated by today's standards, though the characters still look really great, and you could pick up on the subtle details with the characters' movements and gestures, which just aid in the storytelling. The developers did a great job of recreating a 1930s Chicago called New Heaven. From all the old-timey cars driving around to the old job posters, classic signs, and all the pedestrians in old clothes, the game really does a great job at making you feel like you're in the Great Depression. The map itself isn't that big, and that's really okay because as much as it might feel like an open world game, it's actually just a linear game, so there isn't much reason to explore other than to collect the magazines and work on your driving skills. The best part about the game is the story and the characters. From sitting in meetings with the Dawn to talking with your fellow gang members, you feel immersed in the world of the mob. Characters are fun and three-dimensional, and you cannot help but enjoy going on missions with everyone, even if all you do is drive for the whole mission. I do wish that you could spend more time with Sarah in that subplot because the voice acting and motion capture are really good. But it got me curious about how being in the mob affects your home life. Now, I'm not saying I wanted a whole lot of expansion to that story, but maybe a mission where Tommy has to defend his wife and child from a home invasion. I felt like that would have been a cool reason for Tommy wanting to get out of the mob life, but I digress. The story isn't a phenomenal masterpiece like Red Dead Redemption 2, but it's not trying to be either, and it's kind of refreshing. The story can be predictable, but it's fun, and you enjoy the characters enough that it doesn't really matter, and it doesn't overstay its welcome by being like 12 hours long. But moving on to the gameplay, it's not the greatest, but it's not bad. Driving is a little stiff, and it's actually kind of fitting because it helps make the player feel like they're driving an old car, and I only really found it annoying during the racing mission, and sometimes it got me killed by the cops, but it never really felt broken to me. Gunplay, on the other hand, well, that's a different story. The gunplay, like the driving, is also very stiff, and it can get really annoying in gunfights, especially when you're drastically overpowered with no backup. Likewise, the guns don't really feel like they do much unless they're headshots. I will say, though, that the Tommy gun feels pretty good, and I would be lying if I didn't say, "Say hello to my little friend!" That being said, while it did take me out of the experience, it was still fun to try and overcome the challenge, and only really made me more determined to beat it. So maybe a slight adjustment, and it would have been great. Moving to my complaints, aside from how stiff the game felt, there were several times when my game crashed while doing a mission, and just a lot of weird visual clips that were very distracting. But besides that, the game was pretty good, and there were just some nitpicks I had in the story. But because of the stiffness, this game might not be for everyone. In the end, Mafia the Definitive Edition is a great gangster game, and a nice change of pace from all the 50-hour open world games we've been getting lately. For Mafia the Definitive Edition, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, and would be a great game to buy on sale or with the Mafia trilogy while it's on sale. But those are all my thoughts on Mafia the Definitive Edition. Let me know what your thoughts are on the game, and if you're someone who's played the original back in 2002. I'm currently playing through the second one right now, and I hope to have a review for that out at some point. But be sure to be on the lookout for that, so like and subscribe. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a great day, y'all.